Alright, welcome to this edition of Airsoft Answers TV. You'll have to excuse all the background noise today. It's such a beautiful day outside, I thought I'd just sit out here on the porch to do this video, so you'll have to excuse all the animal noises and cars and dogs and all that. But like I said, it's such a beautiful day. Why sit inside making videos when I could be out here in the beautiful sunshine? Now, before we get started, the April 15th episode of Airsoft Answers TV will be hosted by Airsoft Riot Channel. If you haven't seen their channel yet or subscribed to them, the link is below in the annotation. Go ahead and go check out their channel and subscribe. Now, this week's episode's got a little derailed by, once again, people just... it absolutely amazes me that people don't read before they post a question. They just see this box and a submit button and put anything. And out of the questions I got this week, there were only 4 that were related to the topic of what do you look for when you buy an airsoft gun? Because there's so much to wade through when trying to make a decision on what to purchase. That was the reason I did this topic, so we kind of bring up some of the subjects and some of the issues that people face when they're trying to buy an airsoft gun. And everybody was off topic. It's absolutely amazing. So please, this is the only YouTube Airsoft channel that allows viewer interaction every week. You guys are allowed to ask questions and you become part of the content every week. We're the only one. This is the only one in the world. Once again, Crazy NC Man bringing it to you. So please, keep them on topic. And like I said, now is the question you can post for next week's show for Airsoft Riot Channel. Me personally, before I started running an airsoft company, when I was looking to buy a gun, the first thing I go by is budget, obviously. If you have $150 to buy something with, then you have to stay in the $150 range. And so my first thing I look for was how much do I got to spend, and then next is just what's appealing to me visually. You know, I'm not going to buy a gun, you know, I don't like the looks of, or you know, don't like the feel of. So obviously it comes to price and visual appearance. But in today's market, we're not talking about LPEG guns anymore with plastic gears. We're talking metal gears, metal gearbox, which is pretty much all the guns that you guys talk about: JG, AGM, Echo 1, SIMA, KWA, G&P, Tokyo Marui, you know, on and on. All these brands, they're all, you know, metal gears, metal gearbox. They all have parts that you can change, you can upgrade. So I don't really think that's an issue anymore. Is my gun upgradable? Well, yeah, it is. Every gun is upgradable because somewhere somebody is making parts to put in that gun. Granted, some of them might be a little harder to find, especially like Tokyo Marui, or in the case of an SR25 where it has a longer piston than a normal gun. You might have a little trouble finding one. I know when I had to put a piston in my L85, nobody seemed to have them in stock. So, but pretty much they're all upgradable. And then as far as the durability, it's so subject to, we're listening to what people say online and opinions people are putting on forums and on these videos. I prefer YouTube videos for judging the durability or the appearance of the internal quality over a forum post any day. But that's so subject to who is posting that. Do you know that person? Are you going to trust them? You know, if you're not listening to your teammates or people at your local field and you're taking information off the internet, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Because, you know, there's always been this JG and Echo 1 are junk. Well, mine lasted for 3 fine years and put a lot of rounds down range, so I don't think they're junk. I also did a lot of maintenance. You know, not maintenance. I made sure it was assembled correctly and all the little loose screws and stuff were all tightened down. But I don't think JG's junk. I also have a SIMA I don't think's junk. I have an SRC I don't think's junk. But you're going to find people that hate them because they have some horror stories. But where I'm going with this is you have to understand who is saying that. Like, I sold a gun a couple weeks ago, a high-end gun, and the person got it, and a couple days later they fired this email and, oh my God, your gun's a piece of junk. I thought you said these were good. This was $400. It's a piece of damn junk. And you know, I'm like, okay, here we go again, because you know, I've been around the block a few times. And so troubleshooting the gun with them, what was it? It wasn't my gun, it was their battery. So before you listen to these horror shows, horror stories online about what a piece of junk AGM is, you got to understand who might be posting that. Okay, this person was just slamming my company and my gun and everything else because their battery was bad. So, and I'm sure he went around the internet going, "Oh my God, this gun sucks. I just paid $400. This thing's a piece of junk." It wasn't. It was his battery was bad. So take that with a grain of salt when making a decision on what to buy online, or what to buy, period. Now the other thing I look for too is versatility and, you know, kind of upgradability and what you can add to a gun. I really like the G&G F2000, but there's not a lot you can do to it. It's got a rail on top, but that's it. There's no grenade launcher. There's not a lot of accessories. You're pretty much stuck with that gun, an optic that you want to mount to it. And then from there, you'd kind of have to, you know, jury rig your own, like if you want to put a camera on it or something like that. So there's not a lot of upgradability to it. And that's, people say, well, why does everybody use M4s? And that's the reason everybody uses M4s. There's all sorts of parts you can put on them. So that's one thing to look at. You know, like the Masadas are nice, but are there a lot of aftermarket parts, external parts for the Masadas? Not really. They have plenty of room to put rails on, you know, the sides and the top and the bottom and all that crap, but there's not a lot of parts. So that's where the M4 is popular. So look at that. And the other thing I really look for is batteries. I don't want to have 50 million damn batteries to power a few airsoft guns. So when I look to buy one, if the battery's a pain in the ass to put in and out, take in and out, can it hold an external battery, a PEC box? Is it going to be able to hold a battery pouch easily? That's a very big thing you should consider when you purchase an airsoft gun. And these are two of my favorite batteries. One is this 1600 milliamp 9.6 volt nunchuck style. It's got a small connector. This one here is an off-brand, but I usually buy either Tenergy or Intellect that have good amperage output. But this is a versatile battery because it'll fit an M4 handguard. It'll obviously fit a crane stock, like the KWA has a small style crane stock. This will fit those. That's what it's made for. It'll also, you can put them like this, and it'll fit most AKs. It'll fit a SIG 551 in this configuration again. Granted, you know, if it's a gun that takes a stick battery, you got to have room for all this extra wire and stuff. So you know, it can't be a real tight fit. But this is one thing I look for is when I buy a gun is, can it take this battery? Because I love these 1600 milliamp hours, not the biggest capacity, but it's still good for an all-day game. Now this one here is another, what they call, some people call butterfly or nunchuck style. This is not a good example because this is the 1600 milliamp hour, but there's an Intellect battery just like this that's 2200 milliamp hours, and that's a lot of juice, enough to play on all day, and it's a fantastic battery. Now this, again, this is another versatile battery. It'll go in an M4 handguard. It'll fit, you know, some SIGs will fit. You can jam it in all kinds of different guns. It's a very versatile battery. So I like this one a lot, especially for an M4, because a lot of people won't think these 9.6 volts this size will fit in an M4 handguard. This will fit pretty much in most M4s. Like, people ask me on AirsoftAnswers.com, what is the best battery to put in a combat machine? And it's this one right here. Not the 1600, the 2200 milliamp hour battery is the best one for a combat machine handguard. So that's the other thing I look for is what battery does it take and how big a pain in the ass is it going to be. So I already own several PEC boxes, so I'm good to go there if a gun, you know, if it has a battery in the handguard but I can put a PEC box on, I'm good to go. So that's another big consideration. But for me, price, what I can do to the exterior, because internal upgrades are usually no problem, and then what kind of battery does it take, and I'm pretty set. As far as brands, I'll take anything, give it a try. I haven't had bad luck with any of them yet. So, like I said, be careful what you read online about horror shows, about brands. All right, now let's get to some of this week's viewer-submitted answers. Like I said, I posted the question, what do you look for when you buy an airsoft gun? And Desert Soul 02, he says, I look for good gears, good piston head, and a good hop-up unit. Now, obviously, he's a seasoned player. The newer players, they're not going to really know. They'll have to go back to listening what people think are good, you know, good gears, good piston, all that stuff. But yeah, that's important. But it's subject to, you know, a lot of variables, like good gears. Everybody says KWA makes great gears. Well, in my opinion, they don't, because I've seen a bunch, especially here lately, I've seen a bunch of broken teeth on KWA gears on brand new guns, and that's not coming from me personally. That's coming from the retail side of the world. So that's not me just saying, oh, my buddy bought one and the gear broke. That's me as a retail in communications with other retailers going, geez, these KWA gears are breaking like crazy. Next one was Gamer Dump. He says, I look for something I'm comfortable with from the looks and how it feels, and then he lets the internals and performance come second, but of course they have to be considered when making a purchase. And that's a great way to look at it. How much money you got, and then what do you like the looks of? You like an M4, you like a Masada, you like a Bullpup, you know, go by that. Next up was Crevice Boy. I don't know where you picked that name there, Crevice Boy. He says it says, good question. I look for durability and customizability, if that's a word. And that kind of goes back to what I said. Durability is kind of, you just got to try different brands and maintain your guns. And then customizability, what can you get for external accessories for the gun, because internal accessories are pretty much available anywhere. And then SPS 14 from Norway, and I appreciate you guys watching over in Norway. He says he looks for barrel length and durability, FPS, but it's not a big concern, but he wants it to be over 300. Battery options, rails, upgradability, and looks, of course, and then what brand it is. So that's pretty much, he's obviously another seasoned player. And that was all I got. That was unbelievable. That's all I got for on-topic responses to the topic this week. So let's go over some of the off-topic. Again, it clearly stated at the top of the channel, what do you look for when you're buying an airsoft gun? And this is what I got. Why does the wall charges that come with airsoft guns destroy your battery? They don't. You destroy your battery because you don't pay attention to how long you're charging it. Let's see. What type of battery should I get for my Chicago typewriter? And this guy's asked this for about a month. Okay? If you haven't figured it out yet, you don't need to be playing airsoft. Red Dot or ACOG? Hey guys, since your next video is somewhat about this, I want to know approximately how long do I fill my gas magazines? It's not even on topic, dude. What would be better, a spring shotgun for CQB, a tri-shot or a single shot? Again, it's not on topic. What is your advice to for a website to buy from? Because he's looking at Airsoft Megastore. I can tell you, I'll answer that one. Don't buy from Airsoft Megastore. You'll never get any support out of them. My VFC, what's the rate of fire if I put an M120 spring in? There's way too many variables to answer, and it's not on topic. I bought a gun that comes with a grenade launcher. I was wondering, are they good in the field? No, they just make grenade launchers because they suck. How many rails should I have? I'm looking for a cheap secondary. Should I buy a Walmart shotgun? I'm turning 14, and what's the most amount of rifles I can get for $65? Come on, people, these aren't even close to the topic, so please, before you post a question or response, read what the topic is for this week. So anyways, that's Airsoft Answers TV for this week. Like I said, right now, you can post a question for Airsoft Riot Channel, and they will air their episode on April 15th, 2011. And then after that, I'll probably be back to host the next one. So we'll see you next time.